What's up, YouTube? It's your boys, D-Class Moto Podcast, and we're back.
Smash that subscribe button.
Damn, never gonna grow up, never gonna slow down. We were shining like lighters in the dark
In the middle of a rock show.
Welcome back, D-Class Moto Podcast. We're gonna kick off this podcast.
Is that how we're starting it?
Yeah, with a little intro. To
We're probably gonna immediately get wiped from YouTube for if it's an original version.
They can't tell what we were singing because we were so bad.
That's true.
Anyway, it's good to be back behind the camera, boys.
It is.
And girls. I know we have some people out there that watch.
We have 5% girls.
Dude, our analytics have been crazy recently.
So for those that follow us on TikTok, I made this video. It was like something about like making fun of like that we have like 5% girls that follow us.
Yeah, and then
since then it's gone up to like 11%. So
yeah,
you know why? It's because I've posted 2 videos that have to do with Jett Lawrence.
Dude,
we posted the video of you asking him about his meat sheets,
which we need to talk about that big time. I mean, I know
we haven't done a podcast since we went to the Supercross.
Yeah, well, we definitely have to talk about that because that was a little strange.
It was hilarious. So if you haven't seen it yet, basically when we went to Atlanta Supercross, and while we were there, we asked a bunch of riders just the most random questions. Like we didn't want to ask them like the same thing that every other interviewer asked them. Like, hey, how's the bike feeling today? How's your season going?
Yeah.
We wanted to know what no one else has ever asked them.
I can guarantee you with certainty that nobody's ever asked Jett Lawrence, what his favorite bed sheets would be if they're made out of a deli meat. Like,
yeah, we asked a few riders that. So who did we talk to? First, we talked to Carson Brown.
That was cool. Like,
super awesome guy.
Yeah, I've never seen him without a helmet on. Kind of funny.
Yeah, I've never seen him not like railing a berm. Yeah, 100 miles.
I was like, "Where's his pit bike?" He
was fun. We asked him if he was a transformer, what would he transform into? And he said a dirt bike.
Yeah. That was right. All-time favorite was meeting Stank Dog for the second time. The first time.
Hold on, before we get into that, let's just. Oh gosh, let's quickly go through a list of who we interviewed. We got Carson Brown.
Yep.
Stank Dog.
Yep.
AJ Catanzaro. Jett Lawrence.
Bam Barcia.
Bam Barcia. The killer. Is that everyone? I think that was everyone.
Did we talk to?
We talked to Levi. But
I was gonna say we talked to Levi for a moment.
I think that was everyone that we interviewed.
I think so.
If you want to see it, go check out our TikTok or Instagram at DClassMotoPod.
Yep.
All the little short videos are up there. But anyway, so we got to talk. You got to talk to Stank Dog.
Yeah, that was super cool. Second time I have ever talked to Stank Dog. The first time I met him at Redbud. I think it was 2016. I can't quite remember. He was he on
a 2-stroke?
Yeah, he was on a 125. He had the old cheetah print graphics. That was super cool. Watching him, like he's the exact same dude as he was, almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Hilarious guy. He offered us weed back when I was in high school. Obviously I said no.
Are you allowed to say that?
I don't know. I mean, like he talks about it.
Oh, does he? Well, yeah, I guess now it's fine.
Yeah, it was a long time
back in 2016.
ago.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have been.
Anyway, he signed my koozie.
Is it on here? The one
you're holding. Stank Dog signed that koozie.
Yeah, it says 720 something. That's his number, right?
Yep.
Kind of hard to see, but if you're watching,
Stank Dog signed my koozie. How cool is that? And then we ended up staying and watching the night races, and he absolutely cleaned up at Redbud, the night races. Different track, but so cool, dude. Yeah, he answered that question.
That was so weird.
So fast. I asked him the bed sheets question, and he knew immediately.
He answered like before Hayden could even finish the question.
I was so confused by it that I was like, oh, now what do I do? Like, I'm waiting for him to answer. Like, that was my expectation, and I would probably come up with something else to say, but he answered so quickly. I was just like, oh yeah, and how's the track doing today? Like, yeah. I was Dude, it's like he's been asked that question before. I don't know.
Maybe his bed sheets are made out of, what do you say? Turkey?
Dude, he's a big turkey guy.
Maybe his bed sheets are made out of turkey.
That's crazy.
Jett said raw steak.
Yeah, which come on,
was
Jett.
Probably the strangest answer of the day.
Oh, by
very
far.
strange question, very strange answer. So I guess it kind of fits, but
yeah,
he said raw steak.
He's like, probably steak. And I'm like,
and he was like, medium rare. He's like, oh, raw.
I was like, what? Like keep it cool or something? I don't know.
Yeah, that was funny though. It was funny because everyone was like crowding around him to get autographs.
Yeah.
And it was like super chaotic. He was signing an autograph after another. You're like, hey, we got a question real quick. He's like, what's up?
Yeah.
And then you asked that. And then the whole crowd went silent. And he stood there for like 30 seconds thinking about it. And everyone was just waiting to hear what he had to say.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because it just like the whole like situation just changed so quickly. He's like,
yeah, I've never like, it was like pretty loud. And it got real quiet. Like you could hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
And we're all just like, is he going to say something? Because he took this really long pause.
He wanted to get the right answer for sure.
Yeah, he thought about it way harder. Like, dude, it's not that deep, but like,
yeah,
he took a good 10-second pause. And I'm just like, oh.
It felt like forever.
It really did in the moment. Yeah.
Anyway, what else did we do in Atlanta? I mean, the race, it was a great race. It was an outdoor race.
That was by far the most exceeding expectation.
So that was the track that at press day the day before, all those guys were casing it.
Yeah.
And Hunter like
he wrecked.
Beefed it hard. And then he ended up winning the race. That was really cool because
that was awesome.
It was Hunter, and then did Fortner get second? It was Hunter and then someone, and then Jett got third. So both of the Hunter brothers were on the podium, and it was like super cool to see them like hugging each other. And
yeah,
Jett was like so pumped for Hunter.
Wasn't it Husqvarna
in second?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Was it RJ?
No,
I don't know. I think it might have.
Was it Hampshire?
It was because no. Remember, Fortner had that gnarly pass on RJ.
Oh yeah,
and that must.
Dude, I can't even remember.
I don't remember.
Nobody remembers second place.
Whatever. I know that Hunter came in first, so we were amped about that because he's like one of my favorite riders. Yeah. And it was the East-West shootout. So yeah, it was like the biggest perfect race to go to.
Exactly. Yeah.
The weather was supposed to rain. The weather ended up being perfect.
It rained the night before, and there was literally like a foot of water on the track. Dude, you guys have, if you've never been to a Supercross event and had the experience of watching these guys work, track crews are absolutely insane. I could not believe how quickly they transformed that place.
Yeah, we saw pictures of we were at my parents' house, and my parents lived down in Georgia. We stayed with them when we were down there. We were like getting ready to leave, and we saw a picture of the track, and it was literally like a foot underwater.
Yeah,
we're like, crap,
dude. We're not even going to be able to go anymore. We're like panicking, like, dude, we just wasted tickets. Like, are we?
And by the time we got there, when we got there pretty early, they were doing I think like the first session of practice.
It was pretty muddy.
And it was muddy, but like they had like people were still jumping everything. I was thinking it was going to be like I figured they were going to race either way. Like they'll race in the mud if they have to.
Yeah, but if there's no actual rain, they're for sure racing.
I was going to even race in the rain. But I was kind of worried like, oh, it's going to be kind of a boring race if they're just rolling everything. But it ended up, by the time we got there, it was still wet, but there was enough of a line where people were jumping everything.
Yep.
And then by the time the races started, it was
so prime.
Perfect.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Oh, by the way, that was my first ever Supercross event. So that was like, it was just so cool. I've been big into outdoors. Like you guys know, I grew up 10 minutes from Redbud. That was our home track, and we would go to that every 4th of July. That was like motocross to me.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, Atlanta was kind of outdoorsy. I mean, it was outdoors, but there was still a lot of Supercross elements to it.
I really like that style of track.
It was so cool.
Last year was the first, because they've always done Daytona like that.
Yeah.
Last year was the first year they did Atlanta like that, and me and David got to go. And I've grown up going to the Supercross in Atlanta that's at the Falcon Stadium.
Yeah.
I think it's cool and stuff for sure, but
it's just not as big.
Yeah, there was something about like the lap times were like almost 2 minutes, I think.
That was sweet. Yeah.
There was just like so much going on.
Yeah.
And also like that stadium is like,
is Daytona really cool. Is Daytona like that where it's a 2 minute lap time? Like I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it's pretty long. And that one they've done for, I mean, like forever.
Yeah, I mean, I remember,
that's always been like the one, like
the big one,
the one that's like at a NASCAR track. But now they do Atlanta too. heard a rumor they were talking about maybe doing some more like that. I think it'd be pretty cool. I think the riders like it.
Yeah,
and it's a little different.
Yeah, and because Supercross is so technical, you have a 2-minute lap time of this just extremely intense technicality, like form. Gear shifts have to be perfect. Everything has to be like picture perfect for Supercross. I remember
too when we were talking to Levi on this podcast, he was saying he didn't get to race last year, obviously, because he was still amateur, but he was saying that he heard a lot of the guys, like the only complaint they had was that during timed practice, so usually when they're doing like 50-second lap times, if it's a 10-minute time practice window, they can get, a ton of laps in.
Yeah.
But when the lap times are double what they usually are, they have a lot less opportunities to get a perfect clean lap.
That's wild.
Yeah. And so in Atlanta also, they only had one timed practice because of the rain.
And that'll affect your
and that I've been meaning to talk about this. So so Atlanta qualifying, we kind of watched it, but I didn't realize. So AJ Catanzaro qualified on his 125 two-stroke, right?
Yeah.
Max Voland on a factory KTM didn't qualify.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I don't remember this.
Yeah. Do you remember? So when it was me and you and like Anthony and Josh and Ian, we were walking towards to go to our seats, and we saw Max Voland walk right by us.
Yeah.
Dragging a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was done for the night at that point.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize
he didn't even qualify for the night show on a factory KTM. And AJ so
what happened, dude? Something happened.
They qualified it as like East and West, I think. So I think AJ was in the same coast as Max.
So they take your time from each. Because otherwise you would have East or West guys that would be like faster, and then you'd be bumping out certain.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it was like 22 or no. Yeah, I think 22 guys from the East qualified and 22 guys from the West qualified.
Okay, that would make the most sense, because then otherwise you're battling.
Yeah, and AJ and Stank were on 2 different coasts, and they both made it in.
That was
and then
awesome.
Max Voland on a factory KTM. He's their only factory rider too on KTM from the 250s.
Yeah.
And he didn't qualify.
That's wild.
And then
something happened. He had to have gone down or something. Like,
I mean, I didn't see it, so like I don't know. But I mean, I feel like still like there's not really much excuse for that. A dude on AJ Catanzaro, who like I think he would pretty confidently say this, like Supercross is not his primary focus. He's like crushing it, obviously. Crushing it in this whole like Moto Academy thing. Like that's like his like thing.
Yeah.
But he still can come out and rip around on his 2-stroke. But he's riding a 125 2-stroke, and credit to AJ. I'm sure he's in good shape, but he's not on a factory program.
No, yeah, with
100 mechanics, all these people around him. And I just thought that was crazy. Like I saw the qualifying sheet, and Max Voland, he was like, I think he was like 1 spot out of qualifying. Dang. So it's not like he didn't get any good laps. Like he obviously got
a couple in,
one to get at least like that close, but and then like 4 days later they said that he had a crash in practice and like broke his thumb or something,
and then he was out for the rest.
And like a lot of people were like, did he really break his thumb, or was Roger DeCoster just like, hey, we're done for the season?
That's kind of a big bummer.
Yeah, I mean, I like Max. He seems like a really cool kid, and when we saw him walking by, like I remember he looked kind of bummed, and he was like pulling his gear bag, and like that's kind of weird. Like the race starts kind of soon. And then I saw like later that week that you didn't even qualify for the night show.
Wow, I mean that gotta suck. It's hard to feel bad for a multi-million-dollar team that like their rider didn't make it to the night show, but I mean KTM's been kind of running under the bar these last couple.
Yeah, well, they got that new bike
last couple of years.
Well, so I was listening to some podcast that Cooper Webb was on, and he was kind of talking about all the problems that he was having this past season. Which it was a mix of things. He left Alden's.
Yep.
The new bike.
Yep.
And that was just kind of like all that together, just kind of.
Yeah, I remember watching that. He didn't feel as confident on the bike, and that's why he couldn't push to that, next level. Like the bike was only so good.
Yeah. And then, I mean, Marv was good though. I think Marv won a race this year, didn't he?
Marv's also been on a KTM for like.
Yeah. I mean,
he's still talking about it.
Cooper won the champion. Marv is still interviewing from his last podium.
Yeah.
But I mean, Cooper won the whole thing last year. You think that he would be just as comfortable on a KTM as Marv?
Was it the bike change? You think what was the bigger difference? Changing training programs or the slight change, like the changes in the bike over the next generation?
It was both pretty evenly. That's what Cooper Webb made it sound like when he was talking about it. I think it was like the Pull Up MX show that he was talking about it on.
Yeah.
He made it sound like it was like 50% on him, 50% on KTM.
Yeah, I do remember him talking about like it wasn't all on him.
But now he's not racing outdoors. Dude, let's talk about this. So there's a lot of people not racing outdoors.
Yeah.
So Cooper Webb is out. Malcolm Stewart's out.
Okay.
Adam Cincerillo's out. This is before the season even starts. Who else is out? Dean Wilson's obviously out. I mean, that's 4 factory guys.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kenny's back. So Honda has all their guys.
KTM's looking a little thin.
AP is back.
Is he?
So KTM is not looking thin. They got the wild cards out there. It's AP, Ryan Dungey, and Caroli.
Oh, I forgot about Caroli. Yeah. Okay. That yeah. They definitely.
Which I mean, we can talk about that real quick if we want to. I don't want to talk a ton about it because like everyone's talking about it and like
right, Dungey's
we don't want to like
motocross
beat a dead horse, but I think Dungey's gonna not get a podium all season.
Okay, my prediction is Dungey will get at least 1 podium.
Will he win any races?
No.
Will he win any motos?
Ooh, no. No moto wins. Unless no moto wins. He's gonna get.
He is Mr. Consistent. I'm assuming that's probably still the case.
2 podiums. 2 podiums this season. He's gonna do better than
like 2/3. He'll go like 5, 6, and like somehow luck into a 3rd overall. That's the only way I could see him getting a podium. Yeah. Okay, I got into an argument with someone about this the other day.
Okay.
So they were talking about how Ryan Dungey was going to be like so good. And it was on TikTok, I think. I commented on a post and said the level of competition has increased a ton since Dungey retired.
I agree.
So last time Dungey raced was 2017, which is also Supercross, which was like, I mean, he was good at both, but
he wasn't as big outdoor as he was indoor.
Yeah, I think indoor was like his like big. He won some championships outdoor.
Like 4 years in a row on Supercross.
Something like that. I don't know.
He didn't win 4 in a row outdoor. He won maybe.
I mean, he's obviously good outdoor, but I think Supercross is like more of his thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So back in 2017 when he retired, who was he competing against? James Stewart was already gone.
Ken Roczen.
Ken Roczen
was his biggest, but I think
2017 was the year that Kenny had that gnarly crash.
Yeah, I think
so.
You're right.
Ken was out like pretty quickly, I think.
Yep.
Eli Tomac was like good, but
Anderson.
I think Anderson was good, but I don't think
he was competing.
Anderson won in 2018.
Barcia wasn't that big.
No, he wasn't as competitive. Eli was there, but he wasn't as competitive. Barcia was there, but he wasn't as competitive. Anderson was there, but he wasn't as competitive.
Muskin, Webb. Because I know Muskin battled.
Webb was definitely not in the picture yet.
No.
I think
Chad Reed.
Yeah, Chad was on his way out by then too.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the people that are still around that he competed with have gotten way better since then. And now he's got to deal with Chase Sexton. Mm-hmm. He's got to deal with.
I mean, Eli.
Well, yeah, he's gonna have to deal with Eli. Dylan Ferrandis was not in the lead in the series when last time Dungey was there. And now he's the champion.
Yeah, he's a freaking menace outside. Dylan Ferrandis works a motorcycle off like outdoor.
Yeah.
Better than I've seen a lot of guys.
So I'm trying to think of also, is our camera still recording?
I was just gonna ask that because I couldn't see it.
I can't see it either. Oh yeah, it's still recording. By the way, guys, so
we're decked out. Like watch us on YouTube. This is
I got a new job and they bought me this new camera and we're like kind of testing it out tonight to make sure it all works good. And it doesn't have the record limit anymore, so we don't have to stop the podcast every 25 minutes. So we're just rolling on through it. Where are we at? We're only 20 minutes in, so we would have not known anyway.
So Gypsy Tales, watch out, we're coming for you.
It's gonna be a 4-hour podcast.
Jeez, I don't even know how. I mean, we're on a very comfortable couch right now.
But sorry, what were we? Oh, we were talking about Dungey's competition. I'm trying to think of who else will be competitive against him.
Anderson outdoor last year.
So Honda, I think that Kenny and Chase are both gonna be faster than Dungey this year.
Ooh.
I mean, Kenny.
I'm concerned about Ken Roxon.
Remember your last prediction about him that was completely wrong?
That's why I'm a little concerned. Okay. Like Ken Roxon was definitely due for a title. And like he came out A1 swinging, like, you know, and then the rest was the tone setter. But like,
I think Kenny will do good outdoors. I mean, he's good outdoors.
Historically, he's good outdoors.
Yeah. He's won a championship outdoors on 450. He was good last year outdoors. Remember, he won a lot, at least at the beginning of outdoors last year. It sounds like based on his posts and what little interviews I've heard, he's kind of got it back together, whatever was wrong with him. I think he'll be good. Chase will be good for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Chase will be winning a lot of motos.
Craig,
I think he will win.
Christian Craig.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about Craig. He's riding 450s.
Yeah. He's going to be, I think Christian Craig.
He was getting easy top fives last year. In
Christian
450s.
Craig and Eli 1-2.
No. Eli Dillon 1-2.
Ooh.
I think
Craig 3-4.
I think Eli and Dylan are going to be duking it out all season.
Chase Sexton. Okay. Eli or it's going to be Dylan, Eli.
I'm not saying Chase is going to be incredible. I think he's going to be consistently better than Dungey though. Same with Ken Roxon and same with
so
Jason Anderson.
Because we have before we have all these great riders, I think Ryan Dungey is going to be the first person after our top consistent riders. Like, yeah,
I'm sure he'll get some sixths.
So you know how who's number 10? He just retired.
Justin Brayton.
Brayton was like a 5th place rider, and there was like a 10-second gap or a 20-second gap usually in between 5th and 6th, or like 4th and 5th. I think Dungey's going to be at that like 5th place where there's a big gap in front of him. Maybe 1 or 2 races he'll be able to pour it on and create some like, you know, top 3.
Maybe.
But that's my guess.
He hasn't raced competitively in 6 years.
And I think that's why there's going to be that gap. There's going to be that gap in just like Brayton had in Supercross and even outdoors. There's like always the top runners, the top 4 that are all chasing for that number 1 heat or whatever. There's going to be that gap and separation in the top, and I think he's going to lead the best of the rest kind of deal.
Maybe
that's my prediction.
We'll see. You think he'll do better than Shane McElrath?
Yes.
So Shane McElrath is on.
Yes.
He's taking Dean's seat on Husky.
I definitely think so.
We'll see.
Yeah. Christian Craig on a 450 outdoor. I don't remember.
He did that last year.
Yeah.
450s outdoor.
I was gonna say he
was like. I would say from what I remember, I think it was like 5th place pretty consistently. I don't remember if he got any podiums or not, but
so he was best of the rest, kind of.
I mean, he was good. He was up in there, but he wasn't like
battling for the top.
He wasn't like the guy.
Yeah.
Like Dylan was the guy. Eli had a few good.
How close did Dylan? How close was 2nd place to Dylan Ferrandis last year in the outdoors?
Was it Eli that was in 2nd?
I think so.
I don't really remember. That was so long ago.
Yeah. Anyway,
someone can look it up who's listening. Google's a click away.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think it should be an interesting outdoor, even though it is a bummer that there's a lot of people not racing already, and it's only going to get more thinned out.
Yeah.
Because that's just how it goes.
Yeah. Dude, I'm really bummed about AP because.
Well, he's back.
I know, but like he was off the bike the whole season for the most part, like in recovery. So he hasn't had the same amount of like seat time.
Yeah. Especially on that new bike.
I know. And that was the biggest part about him on Supercross was him battling the bike. Like you'd watch him first couple races. He was really squirrely. He never looked precision on that thing. Whatever reason, KTMs were just a little bit loose or just all over the place the first couple rounds. And
what was that new bike?
Yeah, that's what
I think
saying.
A lot of them are struggling with the new bike, and I think they got it figured out. At least Marv got it figured out. He won at least 1 race in Supercross.
He won 2.
Did he?
Yeah, because he was on the
well, box. I know he's on the podium a good bit because he freaking talked our ear off.
That's what I'm saying.
But I know he won at least 1 Supercross
Yeah. He won the last race of the year.
Did he?
Or was it Anderson?
No, Anderson won. Anderson won like the last like 3 or 4 races.
Oh, that's right.
Same with
Marv podiumed
Hunter.
the last race.
Maybe.
No.
I don't know. That's not a big deal. The people that are listening,
we want outdoors.
They probably know. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is one story I want to talk about that has to do with Supercross that
Go for it.
I keep saying I want to talk about it on this podcast, but I keep forgetting. But now I remember. So I want to talk about, this was when I was probably in like 7th grade, and me and my dad would always go to Supercross every year. And one year we snuck into the track walk.
Oh yeah.
I think I've told you about this before.
I've heard about it, but I don't know the whole story.
So basically we were in the pit party. This was in the Georgia Dome back before the new stadium. And they would always do the pit party in the convention center that was like across the street. And we saw this line of people by the door, and they all had these badges on. And we were like, I wonder what that is about. My dad was like, let's just go get in line with them and see what the deal is. I was like, okay. So we just get in line with this random group of people that are all lined up. They all have badges on. We got no badges or anything.
Yeah.
And so they like bring these people through the door, and we just start following them. And then probably about halfway through, it was a pretty good walk. We didn't even know we were going yet. We didn't know we were going to the track walk. We were just like, well, we'll see where we end up. If someone asks about our credentials, we'll just say we got lost or something. So we get about halfway. We probably walk like, I don't even, it was so long ago, like probably like a quarter mile or something. And then there's a guy checking passes.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, hey, you should come this way. So we just like, as he's looking, we just like both sneak around him real quick.
Wow.
Like it was like in like this, I think they had some sort of tunnel that went from the convention center to the Georgia Dome. So I think we kind of figured out where we were headed at by this point. So we snuck around him, and then we like come around this corner, and next thing we know, we're on the track for the track walk.
Let's go.
And like we're in the middle of the Georgia Dome, like on the dirt.
Wow.
And our friends, that we met at Supercross, Landon and Donnie, they were in the stands. My dad called them. We're like, hey, look over on the triple. And they look over, they're like, what the heck? How'd you guys get out there?
Dude, I would have taken a little thing of dirt home with me.
I should have.
I got a jar of dirt.
Yeah. Like old Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got to walk the whole track. That track was, I didn't realize how insane that track was until they're on it.
The peaks on those tracks are probably the most insane.
Yeah, it was insane.
Thing.
And like we like walked up the triple, and you had to like climb up it. But that was super cool to get to go on the track, do the track walk. I got a picture right in front of the finish line jump.
Dang.
I think I had on like my Monsters zip up hoodie. I thought I was so cool back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of those things where it just act like you're supposed to be there, and sometimes works out.
Dang, that's so
worked
cool.
out.
That is so cool. I know I've like at Redbud, I've gotten into a couple places that, I mean, maybe not. I know so if anybody listening has ever been to Redbud, there's a place called B-Lot. And B-Lot is like the biggest, I guess, party at Redbud. And
which, by the way, we're going to Redbud this year.
Correct.
So if you're listening and you go to Redbud
in Michigan.
Hit us up. We'll hang out.
Little town called Buchanan. It's so crazy that like that track is as big as it is. Like it's probably the most, you know.
Dude, did you see the KTM thing they had there this week?
Yeah, I watched I can't believe it was there. Like, and also they hit the freaking Larocco's leap and.
Oh, really? I didn't see anyone hit it. I saw where they told him not to hit it. Did someone hit it?
Oh, I guess they didn't then. I know they were hitting just the double on it. They didn't triple Larocco's. But that was like it's like the biggest jump in the motocross calendar, I think.
It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, Ken Roxon knows how to throw fat whips over that thing.
Well, last year he knew how to case it pretty well too. Anyway, what else do you want to talk about? It's getting kind of hot.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're only 30 minutes in.
I mean, we're gonna make it kind of a short one today since it's just us two. But
okay, here's the thing. So growing up, moms are completely against a lot of the rebellious stuff we did. What is something that you did that was an act of like rebellion towards like your parents' things? Like, so a lot of kids, this is like super easy. Like one, like Monster energy drinks, you know, like the moms that are like, oh my gosh, the Monster energy drinks is just like, it's either so bad for you or it's the devil. Like,
666 upside down.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I mean, I was a pretty good kid.
Okay.
If I'm sure my mom's listening, she can text me when she hears this and tell me what it was if I was rebellious. But honestly, like, I'm sure there were things, but yeah, I was kind of like a little goody two shoes when I was a kid. Oh, well, why? Do you have some example?
Well, I mean, like, I didn't do anything crazy, but like my mom would always tell me to like wear better like riding gear, and I was always out in like a tank top and like gloves and shorts. Like how many times I rode dirt bikes in t-shirt and shorts. I got in trouble for that a lot. I got in trouble for staying out too late, like not like late at night, but like I'm only supposed to be over at my buddy's Aaron house for so long, and I would always break curfew on that. I was pretty rebellious, but within like a certain set of rules. I was just extremely destructive. So like I destroyed everything I got my hands on. So
yeah, I feel like I was a pretty well behaved child. My sister was the kind of crazy one. Yeah. She won't listen to this, so she.
Oh yeah, we can trash talk around here because.
Well, we're not going to trash talk.
No, I'm not. But that's not what I mean. But like,
if we wanted to, she couldn't hear it. We can talk about. So we're in the garage here at Hayden's house, and there are currently 6 motorcycles in this garage.
Dude, yeah. Holy crap, that happened really quick too. Yeah. Like that happened within like 2 weeks.
They're not all ours. So we've got my bike, my Yamaha, Hayden's 125, David's 125, and then you want to talk about your new purchases?
Yeah.
There's also, before we get into those, a kid drove by the house the other day and asked.
Dude, you tell him the story, like how he just showed up. Like, cause I was at work.
So Hayden was at work, and me and Hayden's friend were over here at the house, and we had the garage door open, and I think we were like washing Tyler's car or something.
Yeah.
And this kid came up. He was like, "Y'all know anything about dirt bikes?" And the dirt bikes were like out in the yard. And I was like, yeah, man, what's up?" And it was like this kid. And he was like, "I've got this dirt bike and the chain is off. Do you know anything about that?" And I was like, "Sounds like your chain was too loose, maybe." And he was like, "Also, it leaks fuel. You know anything about that?" I was like, "All right, one problem at a time, dude."
Yeah.
And so, he was like, "Can I bring it by real quick?" I was like, "Well, I'm leaving in a minute." And the guy that lives here isn't here right now. And so I gave him Hayden's number, and he dropped off. He was like, "It's an Apollo." I was like, "Oh no." So anyway, he brought it over here, and it is in rough shape.
Yeah.
But
I need some.
Hayden's going to maybe fix it for him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it'll be manageable.
There are 2 more bikes here that are a lot more horsepower than anything that's ever been in the garage. So if you want to talk about your new purchases.
So Connor, David, and I, maybe 2 months ago or a month ago, went and bought. About a month ago, went and bought this 2005 Suzuki SV1000.
Here's what happened. Hayden brought me and David to be the voices of reason. And I told Hayden, I said, "Do not buy this bike," because it barely ran.
Yeah, that is true.
For some reason, it ended up in the back of Hayden's truck.
I got it for a steal. Come on now. I talked him down $1,500.
Doesn't mean it wasn't overpriced to begin with.
I don't disagree with that, but I also agree with the fact that I got it for.
You also thought that it worked when it was listed for $3,500.
Yeah, that is true. A little bit deceiving on the ad, but I'm not. Whatever. Like that's neither here nor there. Yeah. So I bought that 2005 SV1000 V-twin
Suzuki.
Suzuki. It's kind of like a crotch
street bike,
a crotch rocket or whatever. Bought it for $2,000. Decided
it doesn't run. It kind of runs.
It runs great now. It just doesn't have full power. That's really it. Like it runs.
It's kind of a problem.
It runs like at least 50% better than it used to.
Okay.
All right. So then I bought it, and I was going to trade it in for like a down payment or whatever on this new bike that I got. And
the new bike is
a 2017 Yamaha Blue Crew FZ09, and that thing is an absolute monster. They didn't want anything reasonable for the SV, so I ended up keeping it. I'm gonna just sell it outright. If anybody wants a 2005 Suzuki SV1000, hit me up.
Runs great.
Runs great. 0 problems.
No, Hayden's gonna fix it. He's a certified Mercedes-Benz technician, so
I can fix it, but it's just gonna take some time. and patience.
He'll get it fixed before he sells it. So if anyone is actually interested,
it will be a good bike. I promise you.
It will be a good bike. He'll give you a good deal if you listen to the podcast.
Yeah, if you listen to the podcast, I'll give you 10% discount.
Wow,
that's huge. Check out.
Yeah, now Hayden's got this new bike. I rode it the other day. It is absolutely terrifying.
So much fun, dude. So much fun.
Thing
wheelies without even blinking.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do that on the road. I'm not trying to do that with other cars around.
So I did find a couple tracks. There's a track out in Lynchburg, Tennessee, that I'm gonna go check out in July. I can take that thing to a track, and we're gonna track it.
Like a street track type deal?
No, I mean it's like an actual race track,
like an F1 looking track.
Not quite that big,
but like the same kind of design.
Yeah.
Okay. Is David gonna go? So our buddy David, we talk about him a lot on here.
Yeah.
He also got a bike. So now I'm the only one that doesn't have a street bike, which is fine with me. I do not want a street bike, and they keep trying to peer pressure me into it, and I'm like, Connors, no. I will ride all day on the dirt. I love riding bikes on the dirt. Once we get on the road, you can call me a weenie all you want. I am not a fan.
I got to give Connor some mad props because he is so hard to peer pressure into anything. Like Connor is like the most solid in his, like if Connor has, an idea or a feeling about something, he's not easily persuaded because it comes with like some deep roots. Like I couldn't convince you to buy a street bike. Like no matter how hard I tried, like I'll buy this bike and give it to you. No, I don't want it. Okay.
I'd maybe get a Grom.
Yeah.
I've decided. So I got a new job for those wondering. And with the new job, the place where I'll be going is like a mile from my house.
Basically, so you got to get something.
And I drive a 4Runner, and I don't want to just drive the 4Runner like a mile every day. I don't want to like ride my bicycle. So I'm thinking about maybe getting a Grom for that. I also I go to Chick-fil-A like all the time. Ooh. And it'd be a pretty nice little cruise. It's like all back roads down to Chick-fil-A. So it's like not dangerous at all.
Mm-hmm.
So to get a little Grom, little 125cc 4-stroke.
Dude, I'm telling you, just throw some street tires on the dirt bike.
Nah, that's too much of a pain.
Wop, all the way to Chick-fil-A.
I mean, I would love to just ride the dirt bike down there if that was legal, but because it's not and I have to do a bunch of work to it, I'm not trying to, that's like my track bike.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like put a bunch of stuff on it. And then like if I want to take it to the track, like take it all off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just trying to get a little Grom maybe.
True that.
Nice and safe.
Yep.
I'm going to make it plenty loud so everyone can hear me. Put a Yoshi on there.
Yeah. So anyway, we got a ton of bikes in the garage now, and this all happened like within a month. Like it was literally just Connor, David, and my bike in the garage. And then I bought one street bike, and then 3-4 weeks later, I bought another street bike. And then now I'm working on a bike. So it's 3 new bikes.
If you're listening and you want to rob Hayden's house, don't. We will.
I got armed dogs.
We will find you and
yeah,
and we will kill you.
My dogs have guns, so watch out.
There's also like we got trackers on everything. Like no joke.
Yeah, and you don't know where it's at. It's inside the forks.
That's why we do fork seals so often.
Puts a tracking device in the fork. Dude, my suspension is hitting so different today.
just on the one side where this air tag is. I don't know.
Oh, that's funny. I'm pretty good with where we're at.
Yeah, that was a pretty solid podcast. 40 minutes, not too long.
It's perfect time.
I think next week. So we did one with just us two because
we're queuing up some big stuff.
Well, it had been a minute. So also sorry y'all for
honestly
having a little hiatus between podcasts. Just life, man.
Dude, I riding every weekend.
Well, riding every weekend.
And you being gone.
I was gone in Florida, so I'm in the process. Well, so I'm starting a new job next month. So I'm like kind of doing double time on that because I'm like kind of getting stuff set up for this new job. Mm-hmm. Also like trying to help my company hire someone to replace me at the old job.
There's a lot going on.
And both jobs are podcast production. So it kind of makes me like I'll finally get like a second to breathe and it's like, oh, I don't want to edit another podcast.
Yeah.
So sorry for the hiatus. Hopefully things are getting back together now. I'm trying to like put a little less effort into the video editing of this podcast so that it'll go quicker. Because I don't think it really takes away much from it. Especially like these, like it'll literally just be the video of me and you.
Yeah.
When we have a guest on through Zoom, it makes things a little more complicated.
We get there when we get there.
Yeah. But I'm going to try and be a lot more consistent with the editing and stuff. Hopefully next week we'll have a cool guest on. And we'll be able to do a lot more consistent stuff. We're getting excited for. We're only a few months out from Loretta's.
We're only a few days away from. Well, that's a different trip. We're a month away from Redbud.
A month away from Redbud. A couple months away from Loretta's. We're gonna do some live podcasts at Loretta's.
Yeah, that'll be
some people.
Sick.
We're for sure doing another one with Dayton while we're there. I know a lot of people loved the Dayton episode, Dayton Briggs episode.
It's bomb.
I was talking to him the other day about it. He's like pumped for it, which like obviously we're also gonna be like amping him up for. He's gonna crush it this year at Loretta's.
Oh, I know it.
But we'll try and knock some other ones out too while we're there. We do have to work that week, but we're gonna try and take off a day maybe.
Yeah.
Honestly, like we could probably rip over there after work and hang out with some people. I mean, we only live an hour from Loretta's, so
yeah, it'll be all right.
I think I'm gonna get a media pass this year for Loretta's. We've got some hookups there that are gonna try and get us some media passes. And yeah, so we've got a lot of big things coming. Hopefully y'all are enjoying the content. We're trying to make some goofy TikToks to fill in the time when we're not doing podcasts.
Yeah.
We're about to film a hilarious one. It'll be out before this podcast comes out, but
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Thank y'all for listening. You got anything else?
Stay safe out there and enjoy being on two wheels because man, it's so much fun.
It is. It's getting hot out. Drink plenty of water while you're at the track.
Yeah, definitely. Drink.
We both bought a gallon jug from the gas station and we just bring it and chug it whenever we ride. Which like down here in Tennessee, it gets really hot in the summer.
Yeah, and a little humid too.
Yeah. But anyway, all right, let's wrap it. So see y'all next time, hopefully in a week. Appreciate it. See y'all.
See ya.